Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 4 of the Toyota 86's for Wednesday Cup. Unfortunately, your normal broadcast monster, Mr. Monroe, and Zaccarelli are unavailable. So you get to listen to probably the tallest broadcaster you've ever heard. I will also be back and forth whilst I tend to my parental duties. But I'll make sure that at a bare minimum, the action is up on screen as we progress. I need to make sure I install Mr. McEwen's livery before the next session. No, it's Mr. Mello's livery. There it is. Oh. But yes, I hope everyone is ready for some Wednesday Cup action. Shortest broadcast? Yeah, but your beard's definitely bigger than mine, so you've easily got that handled over me. I am definitely currently less sick than you. That's for sure. Here we go for qualifying as the guys pour out of the pits and have their first crack at things. Nick Mello's the first one to start a running lap. Something I've just now noticed after not really watching these cars just yet. It seems that they rely heavily on locking the rear brakes and getting the car rotated. Well, maybe not so much locking the rear brakes, but getting the car rotated very early. Pointing it in the line you want it to go and sending it. Lots of rotation at the rear, but it looks like it's fairly controllable for most of them. Being able to kick the arse end out and get it pointed where it needs to. Early days, of course, but we're starting to see representative lap times coming in. We've got a couple of mid to high 119s, some low 120s. Trying to think back to when we ran these cars in TCR, I believe lap times were fairly similar to that. Maybe a little bit quicker. I think TCRs were doing sort of 115s at a guess. McEwen in the, let's be nice and call it an otaku livery. I won't use the W word. Let's out how Taylor Simmons goes. I didn't realise there was a phone on the windshield in a holder. That's fantastic. Oh, let's see how Taylor goes for his first time. As we give him a light bit of commentator's curse there for turn one. Throws in a 123.1 right on the buzzer. Here I was thinking he had qualified third, but not quite. So, alright. Qualifying in first place, we have Alex McEwen, followed by Wade Hallett, Nick Mello in third, Tyler Craig in fourth, Jesse Linole in fifth, Mark Homge, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, in sixth, Elijah Jackson in seventh, Oliver Longley in eighth, Taylor Simmons in ninth, Angus Wells in 10th. We will be back soon for race one. Alrighty, we've got about 30 seconds before race 1 is underway. Guys get themselves revved up to get going. Lights coming on. 6 lights on. 6 off. And Karen wants to know what all that racket is in her housing estate. Looks like 2 wide into turn 1. And we have an off. That should be an opportune moment for me to do this. Wade Hallett ends up better off for everything there, as Alex McEwen unfortunately ended up with sand in his wheel arches. We'll keep an eye on things with my insanely dry commentary. In the next couple of minutes I'll be popping away from the mic for a minute, but I will make sure I leave you with the closest battle at the time. Nick Mello gets a little bit slippery on the grass, sends it a bit sideways. Wade Hallett's in command at the moment. Mark Homch, though, jumping in right in behind Oliver Longley in the pretend BRZ. Alex McEwen gets up past Angus Wells. Homch pulls out into turn 1 so as to prevent a bit of an accident with the Subaru, the fake Subaru. He's doing what he can to bring it back and hold on. Meanwhile, further up the front, Nick Mello is catching up with Wade Hallett. The Castrol Newlon livery. Oh, Mark Homch gets past Oliver Longley as we end up looking away, because of course. I don't... Nearly... Oh, no, it's fluctuating, the deficit there. We had 8/10, but... Initially I thought maybe Oliver had come a cropper. We've got Taylor Simmons probably looking to come up the inside into turn 1. He's not quite close up enough, but Oliver gives him space, probably too much space. Unfortunately, he ends up getting sand in his wheel arches too. Jesse Lanola a little further up, putting pressure on Tyler Craig. Elijah Jackson drops down the order a couple of spots. Either that or it's our... Nope, it's our timing tower doing timing tower things. Standard. Jesse Linnell's finding himself in a nice, relatively comfortable 3rd place. It's early stages yet, but at this point he's got to focus on his race and keeping everything tidy. Back to Nick Mello as he kicks the rear end out, coming up the crest in the final corner. Meanwhile, Oliver Longley's making as many repairs to the damage as he can. Alex McEwen is catching up to the likes of Mark Honch and makes a pass as Mark ends up in the sand. Looks like these guys are, I don't want to say having a hard time with turn 2, but they're certainly running a bit wider than they would like. Marcel, if you end up watching this at some point when I try and show you tomorrow, you should get this livery on your 86. Holy shit, that would be funny. Do this. Could you imagine driving around in that? Pull up to the servo, topping up your E85, belting down the eastern. You'd turn some heads, that's for sure. Go on, you won't, the old you would have done it, etc. Alrighty, I will be back with you very shortly. I need to go and pull some food out of the oven. Step away for 2 minutes and the timing tower does timing tower things. Pretty standard. The Riz with the car. Oh, Chris. As Taylor goes a bit too inside at turn 1, Mark gets on by. Nick Mello is well and truly, there it is. Just in time. Oh. I was about to comment on how tidy and respectful it was, but we get a little bit of touching. It's a little bit slippy. Tyler Craig is going to have a look at Jessa Linol very shortly. Alex McEwen isn't too far off, putting himself in the mix with these two, as he does a lap time that is a second better than either of them. Mr. Wells there pulling away off to the side for the guys to come on by. You can see him respecting blue flags. So at this point, Tyler Craig's battle with Jesse Lenol has gone from being on the attack with the car ahead to now defending from the car behind, as Alex McEwen gets himself set up nicely for the inside of the second last corner. Opens himself up to have a run for the last step on the podium with a little over 2.5 minutes to go. Taylor Simmons has come a cropper in the back end and has gone back to pits. Probably copped a fair bit of damage. Alex here chasing Jesse still as they wrap around the final corner. Probably 2 more times. 2 more laps to go at this rate. Still got Tyler Craig hot on his heels. Where's that view? There it is. That's what we want. Jesse being as defensive as possible. And Alex gets past. It's a lot to be said for single make racing, as Tyler Craig goes for a bit of a move into the final corner there. Can't quite make it happen. Race leader is now on the final lap, some 12 seconds and change up the road. Have a look at where Mr. Mello is. There he is. He's just come off the bridge. Right around the final corners for the last time of asking in race 1. Wade Hallett not too far behind, but short of a big mistake. Nick just needs to finish this corner off, and race one is his in the bag. Across the line to take out race one with Wade Hallett shortly behind. Alex McEwen securing that bottom step of the podium as he gets it a bit drifty. Jesse Lenoll and Tyler Craig bring it on home for 4th and 5th respectively. Mark Homch, who was a decent showing earlier on in the race, seemed to have suffered some misfortune. He brings it on home as well. Elijah Jackson, new entry with us this week, I believe. Oliver Longley in the one-off BRZ. Angus Wells has finished a lap down and Taylor Simmons is in pit lane. So that's us for race one. Done and dusted. We'll be back very soon for race two. Fuck's sake, Buller. A sticky pit wall, he reckons. Oof. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there's a bit of a... I think Matt Cotter came a cropper in that during practice for our V8s on this track last time we ran here. There's a little bit that sticks out. If you get too close to it, then hate to say it, but skill issue. Don't hit the wall, 5 head. Anyway, race 2, 16-minute race. The top 6 from previous race are reversed. I know that doesn't seem to say much given the quantity of drivers available tonight, but grid of 10 isn't terrible. I think we're just waiting for Mark Homch to end up back in the server. However, difficult to tell because he's no longer in voice chat. Maybe he's only available for race 1, in which case it would seem Tyler Craig would be our de facto pole sitter. Battle the cars, not the walls. Yeah, 100%. Little under 20 seconds to go. As the lights get going, guys start revving up. 6 lights on. We have a roll forward from Oliver Longley. 6 lights off, and off we go. He'll probably get penalised with a drive-through for that. I'm going to do this as quickly as I can. So we got 2 wide into turn 2. Looks like it was quite wide into turn 1 as well, as Alex McEwen manages to bring himself right back up from having started in, well, what is effectively 5th. Oh, sorry, no, Nick Mello started in 5th. As they all vie for their little bit of real estate on the track. Some guys rubbing around back here. Elijah Jackson gets up past Mr. Longley nicely as he makes his move around Angus Wells. Wells wants to hold on to the inside, gets a little wobbly, runs a little wide, bit of contact. A bit further up the order, Nick Mello's making gains. Pulls out of the slipstream, but he's not far along enough to quite consider that move. But it looks like he's gone for a very hard inside line while Wade Hallett runs a little wide, keeps things nice and open. Very respectful driving. We love to see it. That curb will throw you very wide if you're not careful, as it almost did there. As this battle for second place gets itself nice and established. Karen's back. She's on the phone. She wants to know why all these hoons are making so much noise in her housing development. She's never happy. Nick Mello tells her to get fucked as he approaches Wade Hallett. Too bad, lady. I'm here to race cars, not to make life comfortable for you, he says. Less than half a second on the run in towards turn 1. It's a little bit too far back to make anything happen with it, but every gain is a good thing. It's a school night, she reckons. Well, you get that on the big jobs. It's not called Saturday Cup. It's like Wade Hallett is pulling double duty, not just defending from Nick Mello, but also putting the attack on Alex McEwen a little bit further up. Another great track lost to the developer dollar. Yes, certainly. Very, very cool track. A lot of fun. Oh, Hallett throws the rears on the grass. Wade Hallett throws in the fastest lap with an 1:19.6. Oliver Longley must have had a bit of an incident. He's now trailing Angus Wells, looking to make up ground, as Jesse Linnell gets up past Tyler Craig for 4th. Taylor Simmons has had a bit of a stack at some point. Oliver Longley looks to the outside because Angus has parked it on the apex. Just a little late on that one, unfortunately. Alright, Tyler Craig having a look to get his position back from Jesse Linnell. Oh, a little bit of a glance onto the wall there as he gets a little bit squiggly. Let's check in with Nick Mello and the boys up the front who are doing their best to... Looks like Hallett's pulled the pressure off in favour of defending a little bit. Using all the curb as best they can. Calling Mellow Yellow. I have heard that. Oliver Longley managed to get up past Angus Wells in his fight to be hashtag not last. We'll stop in with Taylor Simmons, who seems to be recovering from turn 2-itis. Tyler Craig looks like he's making ground on Jesse Lenole again as they head down the main straight. As he gets a little bit drifty coming in. It seems these cars like a bit of a drift. Angus Wells there, respecting the battle. Letting the guys be on their merry way. Yet again, love to see it. Tyler Craig has managed to pull a little bit of time out of his nemesis ahead with a lap time that's nearly 4/10 quicker. Oh no, we've got a sideways car. Sideways car at turn 2. As just in the very background there, we could very briefly see Jesse Lenole correct and get himself back underway again. Let's have a look at the fake Subaru again. A little bit of a belting on the front end, it would seem. And on the side. Well, the level of detail on the model is decent given the damage physics shown. That's very cool. Very, very cool. Subaru. Wade Hallett and Alex McEwen are not currently shifting around. It's just the timing table doing timing table things yet again. Elijah Jackson going for something fairly similar to the Subaru look, with a blue endless livery of sorts. I'm not sure if that's a custom or if that's one of the stock ones. Either way, it's definitely got that BRZ blue going on. Wait a minute, we're gonna need to talk to the sponsors of this track. Ain't no way New South Welshmen are putting up with 4X Gold banners above the pit lane. Ain't no way at all. Wade Hallett is now less than a second away from being able to fight for that top step of the podium. See if he can peel it away from Mr. McEwen's cold weeby hands. They both get a little slippy. Minute and a half to go. We're probably looking at next lap and one more. Fair assumption. As the boys TM come across the start-finish line and Oliver Longley moves out of the way to make room. Oh, Wade Hallett's engine would be screaming at that. I mean, it just did, so, yeah. You heard it. Telemetry on that phone is something else. It's really keeping track of how far behind he is. That's fantastic. A driver's eye view of things. Yeah, that's very well modeled. Very cool. Alright, 5 seconds before race end. Presumably one more lap after this. No, leader is on final lap. This is it. It's not going to be enough for Wade Hallett as they cross the line and he bags second. Nick Mello shortly behind, coming in for third. Tyler Craig wrapping it around the final corner for fourth. There he goes. Jesse Linole brings it home for fifth. Elijah Jackson, one more corner to go. And we've got Taylor Simmons and I think just ahead of him. No, there he is. There's Angus Wells, sorry. So he finishes up. And Taylor Simmons is gonna throw it through the last couple of corners. So looks like that car's been in the wars a little bit. Seems probably well acquainted with the wall. As he finishes up and decides to throw it down the slip and slide. And that's it for race 2. We got one more race coming up very soon. A 17-minute race with the top 7 of the grid reversed. We'll be back with you very soon for that. Alrighty. We've got one more race for you tonight for Wednesday Cup. This final race is 17 minutes long, and the top 7 from the previous race are starting in reverse order. Just to spice things up nicely. I think it looks as though we might be missing one more from the server. We got 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, we got 8 cars on the track. So it looks like all but the last are reversed, or should be anyway. Lights come on. I'm sure the guys will get revved up very shortly. Here they go. Lights are up. And they're off. Looks like the guys all get a good start except for Tyler Craig there. We're probably going to end up 3 wide into turn 1 here. Oh, Jesse Lenoir backs out of it. Thinks better of making chaos. So relatively clean through turn 1 and 2 there, which is good. So trying to make some early moves there is Mr. Mello. On board with Mr. Mello, Elijah Jackson holding on to the top spot after lap 1. Love to see it as the timing tower flips out yet again. A little bit of a nudge on the rear bumper there. Gonna try that inside run. And it works out for him as he pulls out into first place for the time being. Jesse Lenoir hot on his heels. We're gonna run in to turn 1 again, a couple wide here. Just so Lenoir gets a little sideways on the grass. Unfortunately, that puts him towards the back fighting for the scraps for now. But as always, it's not over. Everyone's tyres are probably still cold. They're probably doing their best to warm them up and make up as much ground as they can. This mid-pack battle is really where it's at right now as the guys make a start into the final sector for the 3rd lap. All fighting for what is effectively 2nd position. Although that grouping now for 3rd is much tighter and much more interesting. These guys are going to be swapping back and forth for the next little while, I would imagine. Yet again, another opportunity for 2 wide into turn 1. Alex McEwen on the inside. And Elijah Jackson. Little trip to the beach. Not sure about you boys and girls, but I'm not sure I'm that interested in taking a Toyota 86 to the beach. But you get that. Alex McEwen doing what he can to get up past Tyler Craig for that bottom step of the podium. Angus Wells has had enough. But he's put in the effort in the first place, which is a good start. Oh no, Tyler Craig. Another one to go to the beach. Seems everyone's got turn 2-itis tonight. Everyone's copped it at least once. Turn 2 in these cars is the great equalizer. Oh, Angus Wells is back. He must have just had a bit of a dropout. Oliver Longley seems to have had a bit of a spill as he drops down the order a little bit there. Everyone else is just kind of establishing their spot for the time being. Getting themselves settled and working on bringing the pace back up a bit. Angus Wells brings the car back on track in the background there. Tyler Craig is now less than a second from Elijah Jackson just up the road. A 22.3 versus a 21.4 on the approach into T1. Braking zone into turn 2. Has a look up the inside, but while the door's relatively open, he wasn't quite there for it. A little bit slippy. A lot of room on the track there, that section of the road. Elijah Jackson opts for the wider line to get more speed on an exit. And it looks like he wants a bit of a slipstream on the car ahead of him. Try and make up as much ground as possible. But another car, that's Jesse Lenol, going for another trip to the beach, is now in the mix. as they send themselves through turn 3. So the bridge section, just to the Knolls, now on damage control. He's going to be fending off Tyler Craig as best he can. Alex McEwen and Wade Hallett are swapping positions. No, they're not. The timing tower is just playing silly buggers again. The cars have an existential crisis and flicker in and out of existence for a second there. Jesse Knoll gets himself up the inside run along the main straight, neck and neck with Elijah Jackson. Tyler Craig in hot pursuit as they send it into turn 1. Just so they know, might be trying to hold on to that. Elijah Jackson manages to stay off the grass, but gets a little bit of a nudge for his trouble as Tyler Craig pushes on by and says, "Thanks, guys." Jesse's not done though. He's got himself well positioned for turn 3, keeps it on the inside, and again for turn 4. Timing tower in fine form yet again. Thank you. Love that. Fantastic little battle there for a minute. It's not over though. Still got 6 minutes and change by the time they finish. Seems these guys are easing off one another a little bit to give themselves a bit of a breather, but I'm sure they'll be back at it again very soon. What do we got in terms of lap times? A 23.1, a 23.5, and a 25.1. That would explain a few things based on the bobbing, rubbing, and shunting we saw. Meanwhile, Alex McEwen is getting closer and closer to Wade Hallett. He wants to introduce the girls to him. A 119.6 and a 119.4 this time around for each of them respectively. Meanwhile, Nick Mello's out in front. Wade Hallett gets a little bit too sendy and drops down a spot. Alrighty, we got Tyler Craig still keeping the pressure on tight for Jesse Knoll here, keeping him honest. Turn 2 bites again, yes, indeed. Turn 2-itis seems to be a thing with these guys tonight. And again, turn 2 here is a harsh mistress at the best of times. Let's jump back in with Oliver Longley. See how he's travelling along. That's the one I wanted for now. Gets a little bit slippy into turn 1. It's the car slowed down for turn 2. It's a little bit wide as across the bridge there goes Tyler Craig chasing Jesse Linol yet again. Less than 4 tenths in it at the moment. Jesse getting a bit slippy. Maybe the tyres are getting to the point where they've just about had enough. First couple of races were a little shorter, as they are side by side. This view is terrible for that. Don't worry about it. Nothing. Actually, this might work, or would have worked very well for that. This battle, that's the spiciest at the moment, but we've probably only got a lap and a bit to go, depending on where the leaders are right now. Let's check in with Nick very quickly. Okay, so yes, it'll be this plus one more. It might be this one they're on, that is on now, plus one more, actually. It's usually to 0, then plus 1. But last race it was 0 as they were rounding the final corner, and that was it. Anyway, as Tyler Craig gets himself ever closer, he's probably got one more lap to do it to make it happen. Not much in it, less than, or about a tenth and change in lap time on that last run around the circuit then between them. Alright, timer is at 0, leader is indeed on final lap, so this is pretty much the last run at it for tonight, as Nick gets a little bit slippy for the last run. Alex McEwen isn't too far behind him, but not close enough to make any last minute moves. Unless Nick wants to hoop it for him here. No, he doesn't. Alrighty. On they go. Nick Mello takes out race 3 win. Alex McEwen getting slippy. Wade Harlett for 3rd. They're going for the triple tandems there. Jesse Linol and Tyler Craig aren't finished. They've got a couple of corners to go. Jesse just needs to keep it clean and tidy through the final corner. He goes a little wide and gets a little slippy, but it's not enough to give Tyler the position as they bring it on home. Elijah Jackson through the final bend. And a little bit further back in the Subaru, Oliver Longley, 2 more corners to go. As he crosses the line. Now, there we go. Alrighty. So that's it for Wednesday Cup tonight. Appreciate you all joining me. Come back again next week for what I believe is the final round of Wednesday Cup. Yes, it is. We have one more round in the Adelaide Street Circuit next week, which should prove to be an interesting time in these cars. Lots of sharp 90-degree corners and Lots of long straights. Should be a good time. Hope to see you all there. Enjoy the rest of your night and take care.